Today we're going to be carving this piece of cottonwood bark. So this isn't actual wood, it's bark from a cottonwood tree. And the cottonwood tree is called black cottonwood. It's got a family of different names of cottonwood, but the tree is black cottonwood. So you might want to Google if you have the black cottonwood trees in your neighborhood. And these do grow like high up in mountains with a water source, so the bark can get so big because the cottonwood trees suck in the water so much they make the bigger bark. So this piece is 5 inches across. It's 2 inches wide, and I think it's 21 inches tall. For all you beginning wood carvers, this cottonwood, sometimes you have to look at the side view of it to see if there's cracks. Like you see right here, let me give you an example. See that crack right there? That could be shaly. So this would be shaly, like what's that stone? Shaly stone. Stand by. So it could be really shaly like that crack right there. It would be shaly like slate, meaning that the grain goes this way, all on this piece, okay? So you can see there. So I suggest if you get yourself cottonwood bark, the top piece of this is gone. Normally it would be this gray color all the way around, but get yourself a screwdriver and peel off the shaly pieces. I think this piece is pretty solid. And why you want to do that, because when you get yourself in the carving with this, if you got some shaly stuff there, you carve the nose, all of a sudden, ting, the nose could fly off, and then I suggest if the nose flies off, right away stop, don't sand the nose, don't do anything. The grain will be there. Get some super glue or some glue and glue the nose back on, because when your carving's done, you're not even going to see that glue line. But glue it on so it fit exactly the same way it came off, and put pressure on it with a wood clamp until the glue's dry. So we're going to be doing the very basics of a wood spirit on this carving. So I'm going to block out the eyebrows. Blocking out means shaping. I'm going to block out the eyebrows, and we're going to show how to get the nose to pop off in this video. And if you can do that, if you can get the eyebrows to come up and get the nose to pop off, then you can carve any type of face you want once you learn how to do that. So this is the formula that I use. All carvers have their own different formulas, but this is the one that I use and works best for me. So you got to look at the piece and you got to find a center. So say our center of the piece is right here. So you always have your center line. It's very good a habit to remember. Keep your center line, because you got one side of the face, two sides of the face, right? So you can equal the faces out with that. So now where do you want to put your forehead? Okay, so there's so many different ways to do this. I do them so many different ways, but this is the way I'm going to do it in this video. So this forehead is going to be, let's lower it a bit, right about here. Don't make the forehead as wide as the carving, okay? So we'll just stop the forehead right here. So you can see there it's a bit wider. We're going to have to bring it down there. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you guys what burr I'm going to use. I'm just going to be using a Dremel 4000 with a Dremel flex shaft. If you want to get into Dremel carving, stand by 1 second, please. Sorry. If you want to get into Dremel carving, get yourself a Dremel flex shaft, okay? So let me pull my Dremel down. This hooks up to your Dremel right there. Instead of carving with the Dremel in your hand, it's a big bulky thing. Get yourself the flex shaft like this. Hook it up. It's super easy to install. And you're off to the races. It's so much better because you're like carving with a pen or a pencil in your hand. You don't have to hold that big bulky machine, and trust me, this is the way to go. And there's going to be lots of videos on this. Or you can get yourself a micro motor, which the hand pieces are like this. I use RAM. Come on. Or like this. And this is just like the Dremel. But the Dremel 4000, I think, spins 30,000 RPMs. This handpiece here spins 50,000 RPMs. But we'll talk about this later. This is the RAM. So what we're going to do, let me show you the burr first. So this is a Kutzall burr, okay? This is the Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. Don't waste your money buying all the different types of Dremel working burrs or bits and metal working bits. If I didn't say that. Get yourself a Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr like this. They come in many different grits. This is my go-to burr right here. This is the Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. You see all the little, let's see if we can get some better lighting here. You see all the pointy little things on there. This is an awesome wood remover. Let me see if I have another one here that's less aggressive. So this is the same one. This is in the Kutzall package. And make sure you get the 1/8 bits for your Dremel, right? The bigger ones are for your Fordhams or your die grinders. But this silver one is the medium grit. And you got to get yourself the proper burrs to do this type of carving. Like I said, don't stop wasting your money right now on the Dremel burrs and all that stuff, because there is 2 Dremel burrs that I use, but we'll talk about that in another video. I've wasted so much money to get to where I am at now about carving, power carving with Dremels and rotary tools and stuff like that. I've basically used them all on my older channel, but this is what I suggest for the very beginners, the Dremel flex shaft. And get yourself some Kutzall burrs. The link to my Kutzall store is down below in the description. It will take you to the Kutzall site. I believe if you use the code CFusion, you'll save yourself 5% on the burrs. So what we're going to do is this line here, so this is the forehead, right? We're going to take this line right here, and we're going to cut on the inside of the line, and we're going to cut about this deep. Okay? So I know it's getting a little bit confusing now, but where do we want to have our nose? So say our eyebrows would be here, okay, to the forehead. There's no, I don't know any scale for this. You guys can try and figure it out on Google if you want, but I just kind of go with the flow. And the nose. So I think that's okay there. Never draw the bridge of your nose in too thin like this. Like a triangle there. I always leave the bridge of the nose thicker, because you can always make, with wood carving, you can always make it thinner, but it takes a lot more work to make it thicker. So always start off with thicker and wider with wood carving, because you can remove, it's hard to add. So right now, see here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve all this wood to the tip of the nose right here. I'm going to slope it back. So it's going to be carved from here to here, and all this wood in here is going to be removed. Doing this way, you don't have to. You can just start carving your nose and stuff in right now, but doing it this way is how you can get the nose to stick farthest off the face, because you're sloping everything back before you even do any carving, okay? So I'm going to carve deep on inside here. You don't carve too deep with these bits, because if you carve deep, you're going to create a channel. This bit could get stuck on the walls of the channel, and you could break your inner flex shaft. And I'm going to have to make a video about how to repair that too. Because if you do break your inner flex shaft, you do not need to buy a whole new handpiece. There is a way to get a hold of Dremel to buy the new flex shafts. They're like $7 each. And I suggest when you order them, if you're a new wood carver, order 5 at a time. It will save you shipping. So just know, for all you beginners, again, I repeat myself. That's how I teach myself, and that's how I explain things. If this stops working, this stops spinning, and your Dremel's running full throttle, a good chance you've broken the inner flex shaft inside here. It's broken. There is a way to fix it without spending the money to buy a whole new handpiece. Before I really get going here, you can see this is and this is for the very beginning Dremel carvers, power carvers. Before I get going here, the Dremel 4000 is what I like to use. It's the perfect power for the Dremel and the handpiece, okay? The flex shaft. I also, when I'm doing my chainsaw carvings, I like to use a Dremel 4300. It's got a lot more power, but I don't use a Dremel 4300 when I'm here, because if it's hooked up to my handpiece, I'm so heavy-handed, I break the flex shafts on the inside. So I suggest getting yourself a Dremel 4000 with the flex shaft. That's my suggestion, and everything in this video is my opinion. Also, if you don't have that much money, you do not need to buy a Dremel. It does not have to be a Dremel. I've tried so many generic Dremels, like knockoff Dremels, and they've all seemed to work good too. So if you go on to Amazon, my Amazon store is below. If you go on to Amazon, find yourself a cheap Dremel set Okay, you can get them for $30, and it will even come with the flex shaft, right? It will even come with this. But what I do suggest for the very beginning Dremel carver, you buy the Dremel flex shaft and you install the Dremel flex shaft to the cheap rotary tool, Dremel rotary tool that you're buying, because the flex shafts that they send you in those kits are not very good, and trust me, they overheat, the bits come out of the collets, and they're not good. So I suggest like the Wens or the tack lifes. On my other channel I had videos showing how to install the flex shaft. It's easy to do. You can figure it out. You'll save yourself so much more money, and you don't have to have the Dremel. Okay, I'd like to say sorry. Now you're going to hear me with a different mic setup because the mic I'm wearing now has noise reduction. So we're going to turn the fan on. This is a dust collector table, okay? So it's hooked up to a dust collector and a cyclone filter, and most of the dust is going to get sucked in through here. But I carve so heavy and fast that lots of the dust does get blown out here. I just sweep it into the here, and it just gets sucked in here, and I'll have to make a video on that too. So let's turn on the fan. And like I said, we're going to cut straight in here, and we're going to start removing this wood. So it's like a slow downhill here, all right? Turn my Dremel up. I'd also like to say that I do use a foot control pedal for the on-off. The new Dremels don't let you use a foot control pedal for speed control. But if you buy one of those cheaper Wens or the tax lifes, the speed control foot pedals do work. It's so much easier to start your Dremel and stop it with the foot control. Like watch. Okay, so let's cut in here. Like I said, don't cut too deep in here. Don't cut yourself too deep of a channel in here, because this burr can get stuck on both sides, and that's how you break your flex shaft. So you're going to see me cut deep here, remove the wood, cut deep, remove. So cut, remove, cut, remove. Okay, so that's deep enough for now. Now let's start removing the wood. And I carve fast, like you're going to see my hand doing this. Don't think you have to carve like me. Don't be a Geordie. But for Dremel carving, with these bits, I carve so fast because if you go slow with these bits and you're running at full speed, there's a good chance this will chaffer and it will jump, right? So it takes a while. A big part of anything in life with tools is getting used to the tool and getting comfortable with the tool, right? So just get used to the tool, comfortable with the tool. And anybody can do this. I'm making this video so anybody can do this. I went a little bit high there. I don't know why I didn't follow my forehead line, but so that's okay. We'll just put this line here, and that's where the bottom of our nose will be. Okay, so see that? See how it's starting to go in there? Now let's slope it all the way back. You can cut it deeper. Slope it out again. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up this pen mark just to make everything clear for you. Okay. Now look how slope back. You can slope it back more if you want. You can make it slope it way back if you guys want to make this guy's nose really pop off. So there's what we got. I'd say that's like almost an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Let me just clean it up a little bit in here. Turn the fan off. Also, with this cottonwood bark, it's for power carving, not knife carving, but this is a preferred wood to carve because it's so soft and it holds great detail. So, this piece does have a couple little wormholes in it. So sometimes, you got to inspect your wood. You see wormholes up here. Here's some worm poo, stuff like that. So you got to inspect your wood too. So we'll see what happens. Down here, there's not much, but there is a couple. So you don't know if this wormhole will be on the back right here. You don't know if this worm inside here was going up in here or which way it was going. So you just don't know when you get wormholes on the back of your piece. So I'm trying to make this for the very beginning Dremel carver. I'm trying to leave it as simple as I possibly can. So there's our center line on there again. All right. So where do we want our eyes? Another thing myself too, and this is my opinion, all carvers that have their channels, they do things different and they say things different, and this is just how I do it, and it works for me. And so where do you want your eyes? I suggest, like, if we put our eyes down here, you're going to have a huge forehead. Do you want your carving to look like a mongoloid with a huge forehead? I don't like my wood carvings to look like mongoloids with huge forehead. I think it's better to start off with a smaller forehead because you can always make it bigger. Again, right? Leave lots of extra wood. So let's put our eyes right here. And we're just going to go straight across this time. We're not going to give it any shape or any detail or anything like that. So there's our eyes. I could talk about scale for eyes, like they're in fifths. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2. Well, the bridge of your nose should be like there should be 5 spots in the eye. I kind of made them too wide, but let's forget that. It's just getting a little bit too advanced, and let's just get back to the basics. So the bridge of the nose, I'm going to leave it on thick. I'm going to give this guy kind of a long nose. Right? And back to the basics, everybody. So I'm going to draw this on. Now, when I draw this on, I try and make sure I draw it on everything for the nose is equal. Like, where's the pencil? So I make sure the length between these two nostrils is the same. And I can see this one's bigger than this one. So it doesn't have to be perfect because you can shape it after, but it's just easier for the very beginner. And it's got to have the same pitch on both sides. Then this is just for the very basic carve, okay? So what we're not even going to draw our mustache on yet for the very beginning Dremel carver. We're going to just carve underneath these eyes a bit, take it out, and we're going to pretend this one doesn't have real eyes. I say on lots of my older videos, I know they're not there right now. There's the hope that they might come back, but your wood spirits do not have to have real eyes. They can have hollow eyes. There is nothing set in stone what a wood spirit's supposed to look like. If you're going to try and carve a wizard or a Viking, yes, a wizard or a Viking needs to look like a wizard or a Viking. But if you're going to carve a wood spirit, it's a spirit in a tree to void all evil spirits. So you cannot tell me what it's supposed to look like. Yes, we're going to try and carve a face in this, but I'm not going for the wizard or the Viking or the crazy old guy with a beard that's ready for war. I'm not carving that. I'm just carving a simple face. And this formula is going to make it, after you do this, you can carve any type of face you want. It does not have to have a beard. It can have a big happy face. It can have a sad face. It can have teeth. It can have lips. From this way I'm doing it, you can do any way you want. So I'm going to cut really shallow underneath these eyebrows. And then I'm going to, the deepest part I'm going to carve, but I don't want to carve too deep. I say on lots of my older videos, carve deep. Carve deep means correct your mistakes. If you think you got a mistake, carve it deeper. Carve it out.
Like for example, if you carve in real eyes and your eyes look goofy, like one eye's on today and the other eye's on tomorrow or next month, carve them out. Carve them hollow eyes. So I'm going to do a slight cut across here, and then I'm just going to cut this out so it's like traced out. Then you're going to see me do a deeper cut right here. From here, here, and under the nose. Not too deep though. Okay. Also for power carving, I don't like to have my piece in a vise because I like to move it. If I need to move it upside down, I can move it upside down and I hold it with one hand. You don't want to get hit with these burrs. If you do, wow, it's going to make a little cut. It's not going to send you to the hospital. But I suggest if you're going to wear gloves, get yourself a nice, thick, smooth pair of gloves. Don't wear those cut-proof gloves that are cloth because the burr will catch the cloth and you'll snap your flex shaft. So don't wear cloth gloves. Get yourself a nice, thick, smooth leather. If the burr hits the leather, it will just skim it and bounce off of it. Okay, so let's go for it. And you got to think of this as carving on a flat surface. This is a flat plane. The easiest, and I shouldn't really be getting into this because I'm jumping ahead, but the easiest way to carve, pretend your nose is going this way and you have a board like that, like a post. The easiest face to carve is on a 40, when you got a post and you cut the post in half or split it in half and you got a point like that. Because pretend my nose is right here, then all this part of the face is already shaped round. Because we want to try and make this look round and give it definition, but we'll save that for another video. Okay, so I already got my cut across. Now where the nose is. Is my Dremel at full blast? Yeah. Okay, now under the nose. And don't worry if you don't cut it perfect. There's lots of ways to correct it. Let's see if we can get some better shadows here. I think that's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this wood all in here. All this wood, I'm going to remove it. All the way around. Take your time. Don't rush like I'm rushing. Start rounding the face a bit. Deeper cut on this part of the eye. I suggest just trying to, so there we go, it's blocked out. See we got some depth under the nose here. So, see that cut there? I'm going to remove some more wood, just like I did the forehead, how I sloped the forehead back. I'm going to remove some of this wood like a slow downhill. Okay, so you guys can see my point. Now look. Let me get a pencil. The nose is sticking farther off than the eyebrows. So we're going to give this guy a mustache. We might as well keep going a little bit more. But once you get this part of the face, like I said earlier in the beginning of the video for the beginning Dremel carvers, you can do anything. You can make it any type of face you want. Okay? We need to slope this nose back. See how the nose is, there's still a cut there? we need to slope the nose back nice and slowly like a downhill. If you think downhill, if we slope the nose back and it touches here, this, where your eyes should be, carve the eyes a bit deeper, right? So I'm just going to go as slow as I can. So see that? So see where the bridge of the nose? See how it's sloped back? I could slope it back more. Unless you can shape, this is when you can shape your nose, different types of noses, but let's just leave it there for now. But so you can see right here where it's flat across there. So all you do is draw your line on again. Use a pen. Draw your line on again. And cut a bit deeper right in each there. And our eyebrows, let's split our eyebrows. So go like this, go like this. So I'm going to cut all this wood away here. And you can get your eyebrows to pop off. Your eyebrows don't need to pop that far off your piece. So let's start off by the side of the nose. Carve a bit deeper. Same on the other side. So now you can see there, the nose is separated off where the eyes should be. Let's split the eyebrows. Okay. Got to take the bridge of the nose down a bit farther. Take the bridge of the nose down a bit farther. Now let's remove the wood behind the eyebrows where I did those cuts to make the eyebrows pop off. You follow those steps, you can get this exact creation. You don't have to have a thick nose, but I suggest doing a thick nose because you can make it skinnier after. But I'm going to leave this wood spirit a thick nose. Now let's just finish this off with the mustache. So I draw it on a bit higher than the nose. So at this point, I don't even need to, and I'm trying to make this simple. This guy's going to have a straight lip in here. I don't even need to draw the inside of the mustache in yet. Okay? Because I'm going to remove all this wood. I'm going to take a little bit more of this wood off. Slow down, Jordy. I'm going to do a cut right here on the outside of this line. Remove some of this wood here. This will make the mustache elevate off from the face. You got to think of it as layers. Okay, see that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove just a little bit of this wood. You know, you can do cheekbones and all that stuff, but that's for another time. I'm just trying to show you how to block out your basic wood spirit. Let's remove some of this wood. Okay, flip it over. Do the same to the other side. So now, there you go. Before we draw the inside of our mustache, I'm gonna push the corners of the mustache deeper into the face. So right here, underneath the nose, and right here, I'm going to carve that out again. You're going to get the nose to stick farther off the face from this, doing this step. And I'm going to push the sides of the mustache down into that smile line or whatever, you know, like pretend if you were smiling, you'd get that. There's a name for it, but so we're going to do a cut underneath the nose and then push this down. So there's our cut. Okay. Now we'll start removing the wood and bringing it back like a slow downhill. There you go. I think we're golden, pony boy. Right? So you guys can see that this is working. So we're gonna end this with the inside of our mustache. You can see here, this side of the mustache is a lot bigger where I did this side of the mustache. If you want your mustache, just go like this, carve it deeper. That's an example. Carve it on the outside of this line, make this mustache thicker. We'll do that quickly. Then we're going to carve on the inside here. Push it down. Okay, so let me clean this up a bit. Let me give you guys a side view. You can take your eyebrows down more to get your nose to stick off more. So let's just do that a little bit. But if you got to remember, if you pushing back means carving deeper. If you push your eyebrows, carve them deeper to the forehead, sometimes you might need to recarve the forehead. Because you want your forehead, you can have your forehead slope it any which way you want. You can make it straight up and down. You can slope it a little bit. I like mine to be sloped back a little bit, so let's just go like this. Oh, I hit a bug hole. Recarve underneath these eyes. Now look how far your nose sticks off. It doesn't have to stick farthest off the face, friends. So this beginner Dremel wood carving, we're almost done. So we got here. So I'm going to carve this about this thick, deep inside here. You know, you want to look at your piece. So your eyes are right here. Your eyes would be right here. You want your lips to be a bit farther out than your eyes. Just look at this. Google side view of a face. And you can see where the mouth will line up with the lip. So we don't want to carve too deep inside here. Remove the wood. Keep removing the wood. Cut, remove, cut, remove. Okay, so we can make this. If you look at let me clean this up. If you look at a real face, you know, the mouth comes from the mustache comes wider than the nose, right? Like it would come down here, but we've given this guy such a wide nose. It's okay. It's, you know, and you also got to think with the nose, a thinner nose would make this face more on scale if you're going for the wizard or that type of thing. So you can see there we got his bottom mustache, we got his mustache cut in. So we'll go like this. I think we can cut in a bottom lip there, and it's pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you're like, if you think of a real person's face and try and go with scale, it probably will help you a little bit. So there will be his bottom lip. So I'm just going to thinly cut underneath. I'm going to thinly cut on the bottom side of this line and remove some of this wood. Then we'll round the lip. Cut, remove, right? Always cut, remove, cut, remove. So there's our bottom lip. So let's just kind of round it off and just go super gentle. And if you round it off so your lip hits the flat surface again, just carve it a little bit deeper and make the lip pop out again. So see there? See where I cut it and it hit the bottom where I said cut it again? So I'm just going to do a thin cutout under there again. Take the wood away and then round it off again. Sometimes you have to do it in a few steps. I was taught by Ryan Cook, if you're going to planning on doing some wood burning on this, carve really deep down in here, because if you carve really deep down in each corner of the lip, you can burn it, and that when you go to sand all the burn off, that burn will stay in there and it adds a really deep feature. And just kind of round the lip off again. So there you go. So now, but if you look at this, how far the mustache sticks off the face, it doesn't need to stick that far off the face. So I'm going to remove some of this wood. And just take your time. I'm rushing because, well, I'm trying to make this video not too long. Now switch it over. Oops. Don't be a Geordie. Clean everything up a bit. Keep taking it down. Take that mustache down. Okay, there you go. There you go. There's a Carving Fusion wood spirit blocked out. We're going to stop. I'm going to talk for a little bit and we'll carry on.
Okay, everybody, so there you go. For the very beginning Dremel carvers or rotary tool carver or wood carver, if you can follow those steps, you can do it. Do you know how I know you can do it? Because I'm not the best artist there is. Well, I'm not a very good artist at all, but I've taught myself this formula and it works. You know, once you get that down, that block out part down, then you can start busting into your own things. You know, your own way that you do it. You know, the nose sticks farthest off the face pretty well. You got a bottom lip there. It's flat faced. It's okay. Once you move on and you get better and you learn your tool, the Dremel tool better, and how to carve the wood, it will get so much better. I have trust in you and I have faith in you that you can do it. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Trust yourself and don't be intimidated. You can do it. I promise you that so much. I'm going to leave this video here. How to Dremel carve for the beginners. Hope you guys are all good, and hopefully you've been able to see this video. Don't forget to please like this video and leave a comment, because we need to get the new Carving Fusion page out there to the world of beginning wood carvers, people looking for new hobbies. That's it, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Carving Fusion. Over and out.